friends, it's Jennifer Gillette. Welcome to my home. I'm so glad you're on this video today. Today we're going to be talking about conquering paperwork clutter. So in January of 2019, I watched the Marie Kondo Netflix special on tidying up your home. And about 2 years prior to that, I had a subscription service to Pop Sugar, and they sent me the little book Spark Joy, which is the follow-up book to her first book, which I think is called Tidying Up the Magical Art of something, I don't remember. Anyway, she's an organizational specialist, and I needed this help in my life so bad. So fast forward 2 years ago when I first went through the system, I tried to do the folding method. Didn't really work for me. I've since found out through another organizational expert that I am a butterfly, so I will link a quiz below where you can find out what type of clutter bug you are. And I've known this for years, that I'm a visual person and that I need to see my stuff. I do not like minimalism, like clean lines, simple spaces. Not that I like clutter, but I like abundance. I like seeing my things. I like having them kind of at my fingertips. I'm very much out of sight, out of mind. So I bought these really cute boxes from IKEA 2 years ago when I first was introduced to Marie Kondo, folded up my socks. I mean, they're gorgeous. But I put the lid on, put them in my closet, and I totally forgot about them until I was decluttering my closet this year, re-going through the Marie Kondo special. So all that to say, I had, and I thought, finished step 1 and 2, which I'll link her 5 steps below, which step 1 is your clothes, step 2 is books, and then step 3 is paperwork. But as I started going through and like looking at my closet and pulling out boxes I hadn't opened for 2 years, I realized, I did have some clothes that I could donate. I did have several books I had that I was able to donate and actually make some money selling them at Books A Million and selling a few online on those social media networking sites where you can sell things. So I made some money. But when I got to the paperwork, I was like overwhelmed. And so what I decided to do was start a Facebook group, hashtag 14-day challenge, and led a group of women through the process of decluttering their home, and was very open, honest, real, and transparent that the reason I created this group is because I needed help. I function best when I learn best by teaching. So I always lead from my weaknesses. I always lead from things that I feel like I'm not good at, because I found that in creating systems and creating content to share, it kind of helps me, like, as I'm teaching it, I'm learning it. It's like I'm teaching it to myself. So this group of women was amazing. And so I just want to share with you some of the things that I learned going through the paperwork challenge. So I got to, I can't remember what day we did. I think we did it like on day 10, because we had different challenges throughout the 14 days. But when we got to the paperwork, this is kind of the system that I used, which is a modified Marie Kondo system. I piled every single piece of paper in my home, and I love paper. I love planners. I love stickers. I love paper. And I keep things from conferences and events. And so what I did after I made the huge mountain on top of my dining room table, and I will see if I can link some pictures below so you can see how that mountain kind of shrunk as I got my paperwork together. But what I did was I put all the paper so I could see it, so I could really kind of take it all in. So that's step 1, is make your mountain. And then what I did was, she recommends, and this really helped me, she recommends basically, if in doubt, throw it out. So all paper, get rid of it. So that really helped me with my mindset of what to store, what to keep, how to organize everything. Was just that mindset of, I need to get rid of this. We had, I think, 10 years of taxes saved. So we decided just to keep the last 2 years, and we got rid of everything else. But what I did was I started making piles to kind of make it easier. So I have a little list over here with my piles. So the first was, so let me go back to how Marie Kondo says to do it, and then I'll tell you how I broke it down. So she says that basically you should have a keep pile, and you should have a keep pile, and then a like action pile, like things to do. So like things are going to be going out. So the action pile would be like any bills that need to be paid, any magazines that haven't been read, things like that. So I had like a separate area where I put all the bills and things like that. So that just kind of stayed in one area. And then we were getting ready for getting taxes done. So I was putting everything that was tax related, that kind of thing, into a basket for taxes. And then she recommends in your keep pile to sort that into two. So you basically have three categories: your action, things that you're going to be working through, like mail, things like that, things that you need to respond to, do something with, and then get them out of the house. And then the things that you're going to keep are things that you're keeping short term. So for example, conferences like we talked about, workshops you go to, you keep the paperwork for. Short term study notes. In this category, I put things like my planners, like my notebooks where I take lists, things like any of those kind of things, like my to-do list, my paperwork, things that I like work with on a daily basis. I put that into that category. And then the things you keep indefinitely are things like warranties, insurance paperwork, that kind of thing. So I pull all of those aside. But then I still had a mountain, and you'll see in the pictures below, of papers left. So this is how I broke it up and how I kind of bite-sized pieces, doing 15 to 20 minutes at a time. I was able to get this huge mountain of paperwork gone through in a weekend. So we went through the actions pile. So I put those in a space right by, in a certain area of my home where I can work through those things. It's right by my couch. When I'm watching TV, I could just kind of go through mail. We've got a shredder in there. So I make a paper pile of things to recycle, and then things that we need to shred. And I try to make decisions right away so that I don't have that pile keep growing. The next pile I had is notebooks. So for years I have been keeping, I'll show you one of my ones from this year, notebooks like this, where I just go to TJ Maxx, Ross, I get these cute little notebooks, and I love writing in them. And they're just, this one actually has graph paper on it, and it also has some lined paper, and I love these for note-taking, for lists. And so I have a whole pile of notebooks like these that either are brand new, never been used, or like this one, lightly used, so I can keep using it. And then I also have a ton of legal pads, because I told you, I love paper and pens. I use these for planning out curriculum, for content I want to share on YouTube. I use them for my daily lists. So I had two piles of notebooks. So one pile, it's about this big. Looking at it right now, it's full, but I need to figure out, am I keeping them? Are they sentimental? But what I did to kind of make the mountain shrink is I put those in another pile. So I have those to deal with. And then, let's see, the other pile was notebooks that, like these, that are gently used, that I can keep using. And then of course I had my stickers, my planners, that kind of thing we've already talked about. But what helped me get through this quickly was the concept of her 5 steps. The clothes, then you have the books, then you have the papers. And the next step after papers is your kimono, which is basically every other room of the house. So your living room, your bedrooms, your bathrooms, so your skincare products, your body care products, and anything basically that's not books, papers, or clothes is going to be kimono. So you're cleaning out your garage, all of that. That's going to be your 4th step. Your 5th step is mementos. So what I did with all of those papers that were from past businesses that I'd owned, and with the businesses that I've owned, they've been direct sales business, so they're very it's like emotional, because these are like people that I had connections with. So, and like the trainings that I went to. So I kept all of that stuff in my mementos area so I can deal with that when we get to step 5. So I hope this video helps you if you're working through paperwork clutter, because it's hard and it's a process, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. But now I feel like I can breathe, because instead of random sheets of paper and important paperwork, because we had important things I hadn't got rid of, because I don't get rid of paper. I was able to work through really quickly. The biggest tip I can give you is, before you get started, when you have that mountain, get the mountain first. Get yourself 3 containers. If you've got your garage, if you've got a big Rubbermaid tote, and on one of them get a Post-it note and write recycle. So if you recycle your trash, because a lot of papers that don't have any important information, you just throw that, or boxes or anything like that that you can recycle, throw that in the recycle bin. The second bin, have one that says shred. So anything that has like social security numbers, bank account information, any of that kind of stuff, you just want to throw that in the shred pile. So that way you can just be sitting at your, or standing at your table and just go through things really quick, because you've got all your supplies right there. The third box that I think is really helpful to have is a giveaway box. So some of the things that I put in my giveaway box are like any kind of like cute postcards or thank you notes or stamps or stickers or anything that they're not serving me now, or I have 2 of. So if I have multiples, I'll just think, okay, who can I gift this to? And I'll put all that in my giveaway box, so that way when friends come over for dinner, I can have them look through that box, and then I don't feel like I'm just getting rid of it, because it's really useful. If I haven't got, I put a date on it. So if I haven't got rid of that within, let's say 3 months or 6 months, then I'll put a date that I need to donate that to the local Goodwill. So I hope this helps you, but for me, having that memento category, because what happens for those of us who are prone to clutter and disorganization is we get sidetracked and we find a cute scarf, and then we put that on, and then we find this book, and then we start reading through the book, and then, oh, we forgot about this class that we took, so we start flipping through the papers. And you know, what could have been like a 15-minute decluttering job turns into like an all-day event, and your house actually looks worse after you started decluttering than before. So that, like, basically making those quick decisions and saying, okay, these are notebooks that I've used that are full that I need to discard of. These are notebooks that are still usable. These are, you know, things that I have memories, emotions attached to, so I'm going to put these in my memento pile. These are office supplies, so I'm going to create, I just staged a little area where I threw any paperwork type things like page protectors, file folders, that kind of thing, that could be like an office supply type thing that's technically paper that I want to keep because I can use it in my office, but I just made a little, staged a little pile for that. Having those categories to kind of move things into quickly was so helpful. So you can do this, and I guess the most important thing is to know your why, know why you're doing this. So for me, I created a mantra at the beginning of the year saying, I want space more than I want stuff. So for me, knowing as I'm going through things that my goal is space, it's being able to breathe, it's having that like that clean air and not being cluttered up with stuff, that's highly motivating to me. So take some time today. Think about your why. Why do you want to declutter the paperwork? Are you stressed out because you don't know where to find anything? You know, what is the thing that's motivating you, that's driving you? Because a strong enough why or how will push you through any way. All right, thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Bye.